Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Soul Tribe event. It's the 21st of August 2019, and I'm Tanya, and I created Soul Tribe a long time, about 2 years ago now. And what we're doing is really we're a group of people who really love to support others in their growth, their health, and their well-being. So what we do is we're compassionate, and we really love to, we really want to change our own lives, our lives of our families, but also everyone else's lives. So we're here really just to share our stories tonight, share our stories of health and transformation, and also of how much this fabulous business opportunity has really helped us and our families grow and create the lifestyle that it is that we really want. So I started because I was pretty sick myself. I had been really unwell for 4 years with an autoimmune disorder, and I had adrenal fatigue and leaky gut. So I was pretty exhausted. I was like a zombie. I really struggled to get through my day. I had chronic pain every day. I had arthritis pain. My hair was falling out. My skin was a mess. I had every sickness you can imagine. I spent so much time at the doctor. I was spending a fortune on supplements that were just doing nothing for me. And so, of course, when I was introduced to this product and program, it was a no-brainer to me. It made complete sense. It was fruits and veggies. And fruits and veggies is nature's medicine, right? And I know that so many people like myself were suffering. So I thought, wow, what a great opportunity to be able to support other people with their health as well, because after losing my dad with cancer not long before, and thinking we really need to be sharing this with the world, because too many people in the world are sick, too many kids in the world are sick. It's not okay for us to be feeling like that. It's not normal. It's just not normal to be feeling unwell every day. So I said yes to this opportunity after 4 days of feeling amazing on the products, and I tell you what, I have never looked back. My life has really changed for the better. I now get to live my day as I want to. I get to travel when I want to. I left my full-time job after 4 months, and was able to work this at home anywhere in the world, really. So I'm feeling really fortunate. So what we're going to talk about tonight is we're just going to be sharing a few stories, but also we want to be sharing our incredible product and program. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass you on over to the lovely Tammy, and Tammy is going to share with you all a little bit about our program and product.
Hi there, welcome everybody. Okay, so what are these wonderful products all about? What's in them? I'm just going to have a quick chat through some of the basics around the caps, the chews, and the powders. So first, I just want to have a little bit of a background into how this company came together and the products and the concept. And there was a young man whose father was suffering from cancer, and he'd been given a very short time to live. And sorry, dropping my phone. So he was given quite a short time to live. He literally had a few months, I think, at this stage, and this young man wanted to do something for his father. So he started to look into the properties of fruits and vegetables and the anti-cancer agents and things, and started juicing quite heavily for his dad. And he really chose all of the plants, fruits and vegetables that go into the caps based around what was going to be really effective in fighting cancer and carcinogens. And he came up with this really unique recipe, and he gave his father a lot, and he actually extended his father's life by many years in the end, and realized that he really was onto something quite wonderful, and he wanted to get it out to more people somehow. So started looking at the concepts of how to turn a glass of juice into something that he could share to any people, anytime, anywhere, that was stable as well, because as we know, juicing really has a short life. You juice the products, and the nutrients in them expire really quite quickly once they oxidize with air. So just put my phone, hang on, there we go. Sorry guys, there we go. Okay, just let my hands go so that I can show you some of these. Okay, so starting off, we've got the fruits and the veggies. Okay, there's a really nice combination, a lot of brassicas in this one, specifically because anti-cancer and really good for building immunity and strengthening the body and all the cell rebuilding. And then there's garlic, parsley, and a lot of brassicas and a lot of really lovely things that are designed specifically for this reason. Same here with this. There's a lot of really interesting fruits. There's cherries and mangoes and a lot of bromelain and just things that are really there to repair the cells, feed the body. And then also berries, really high antioxidants, really amazing product as well. So this is, you know, there's so many wonderful berries in these, and there's berries that like I can't even find at shops, let alone organic. Same with the fruits and veggies. You know, these a lot of these, like I couldn't afford to buy organic, or I can't find them organic, and that's where I stand with food. You know, I want chemical-free food. I was really sick of buying a lot of really expensive organic produce and then throwing it out at the end of the week because it had expired and no one had thought to cook it or whatever. So anyway, and with the CAP range, there's also wonderful omegas. These are all based on vegan omegas and vegan oils. There is 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 omegas. So it's a really nice complete profile of all the omegas your body needs without the fish flavor. This is really sustainable because a lot of things around fish oils are not very lovely, including, particularly for me, heating the oils is destroys a lot of the qualities. And just quickly, I just want to go back over the fruit and the veggie and the berries, how these are created, because it's also really important, is that they're all grown until they're fully ripe and they're really at their highest peak of nutrients. Same with everything that we're producing here. It's all been picked at its peak, so that it's full of nutrition. And then it's all just smashed up into it's frozen, smashed up into a slushy, and then processed into a really nice kind of like a fruit leather. Naturally, a lot of the fruits and carbs are reduced in this process, and so they're a lot lower. A lot of people think these are going to be like concentrated sugars. They're not. They're really low, and that's what got me interested. So yeah, the process is to powder them, and then they're actually encapsulated in the caps. They're all vegan caps, and they're encapsulated so that they do not oxidize. So one thing I see people doing is they're buying packs of powders, and they're buying the amazing reds or the amazing greens, whatever, and it's all in a package that you open several times and within 1 week. Now, it really only takes about 4 exposures to the oxygen, and most of the really strong nutrients of your products are gone, or they're expiring, they're oxidizing, so they're just aging and losing their quality. These are encapsulated so that they do not really age, they do not really lose their quality. They are really top quality and they're in pristine condition. So these are your micronutrients. They go straight into the bloodstream within about 5 to 7 minutes. You're just taking them straight on board, and they are all from whole foods, so they're all just natural. Your body understands them and knows how to process them. Okay, really quickly, we've also got fruit and veg caps in a chew form, and these are for the kiddies or anyone that's struggling with caps or swallowing pills or anything. These are a really good backup plan. I actually have to hide them from the men in my family. The boys love them. They'll happily eat quite a few. So the chews are, yeah, they're a really lovely concept just to get good fruits and veggies into people, anyone. So I just like to share them when people come over. Another thing that we have, which is on the more of the macro level, we've got our little micronutrients and our plants and our veggies over there, and this here comes in with the macros. These are our shakes, and they are a complete food, which is really lovely. They're not quite a meal, which is wonderful because you can still have your meals and you're not actually overloading on anything. They do have good proteins. They have a really nice combination of proteins and give you a really good protein profile, but it's not tipping the scale, so you've still got room for whatever your favorite protein meals are as well. Okay, there's really wonderful products in these mushrooms and yucca and blue spirulina and all sorts of things that like you just don't get every day, and you don't get them cheap. And so these are a good value, really good quality way of just upping more of the nutrients in your body. A lot of the things that are in them are doing things like there's vitamin D and there's niacin, and there's quite a few things that are real mood lifters. So these are really, there's a really good focus here on really lifting the mood and really creating a much happier feeling in your body, and really natural. So also really, really low in sugar. Guys, these are really delicious. I've been turning them into little bliss balls and things with coconut and lime, and they're amazing. Especially the vanilla is my favorite at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty much everything in a little nutshell. And I think I'm probably about at my time up. So if I've missed anything, Tanya, please input a little bit more, but I'll hand you over to Moni now and she can do her share. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for that, Tammy. That was really good. So I'm going to tell my story of the product. Excuse me. I'd always been tired for a long, long time, and I blamed it on lots of different situations I was in. That it was because of my relationship, it was because of work stress, it was because of pregnancy, it was because of sole parenting. And then 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's, which was a bit of a mind blowout. My father had it, and I thought, well, I'm not going to get it because it's not genetic. Little did I know. So I went to my friend Maxine for a holiday, and she immediately started talking about recovery. And I was like blown away by this whole idea that people have recovered from Parkinson's. So I tried everything possible. I've tried homeopathics, homeopathy, massage, high dose selenium, high dose vitamin C, high dose vitamin B, multivitamins, contact care, qigong, contact care. Sorry, I said that already. And I was still tired, had tremor with cold and stress, and sleeping lots of the day, not getting things done. So Maxine entered this picture again and introduced me to these capsules. And after 2 weeks, I had no more nanonets. My skin and my hair were amazing. The energy levels were amazing. The pain that you get with Parkinson's had gone down quite a lot. People kept commenting on how good I looked. And someone even said to me, didn't you used to have Parkinson's or something? And that for me was a really great moment in my life. And all I can say is that I really, really love what I call my magic beans. They do so much for me in my life. Yeah. I'm going to hand over to Pete now. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm Pete, and I'm going to tell you a bit about why I love the product so much. I started on it about 22 months ago now, and the only reason I started it was looking for a bit more energy. I was working long days at the time, 10 to 12-hour days, plus about a 1.5 to 2 hour commute every day. So I was pretty shattered by the time I came home every day. As soon as I sit down, I'd fall asleep. So I started the products, and I got the energy I was looking for. I could last all night till normal bedtime, 10 o'clock. I started feeling a bit tired, which was great. Go to bed. Wake up the next day and do it all again. And the other things that I really didn't take into consideration was I had some long-term sort of health issues going on, which I never thought anything would make a difference to. One of those was verrucas, which I had since I was a kid. The earliest memories of them when I was about 5 years old, getting them burnt out of my feet. So at the time that I started taking the products, I had one on each foot, and after about 6 months, they were no longer sore to touch, and about 8 months, one of them had disappeared, and about 10 months, the other one had gone as well. And normally, if a verruca is gone, if I had it burnt out, frozen off, painted, cut out, stomach ulcer medication, worked on them once, but they always came back within a couple of months. It's now been over a year, haven't got any sign of them, completely gone. The other things I had going on was I had a broken leg, badly broken leg when I was a kid, and it was never fixed properly. and it always gave me a bit of pain in the muscle. It actually had compartment syndrome, which is can be quite intense at times. It actually did get really intense because I also broke my left knee when I was about in my mid-20s. And I ended up in a job where I was favouring my knee, and the compartment syndrome flared up really badly. So if I start favouring my right leg, my knee would start playing up really badly. So eventually they looked into my knee and found out it was actually broken. It had been broken for about 10 years after it had been misdiagnosed with a doctor. And the ligament had let go and taken a piece of bone with it. And they couldn't do anything with it because it had been left so long, arthritis had set in, they cleaned it up, then said, see you later, basically. So the compartment syndrome in my leg, after about a year, it started to settle down. Before that, I was finding myself, I'd come home every night and it was just stretched my leg out just to ease the tension in it and the pain. That was slowly subsiding. Also, the second winter, the knee pain had also, the arthritis, it was slowly subsiding as well. Then I added the Omegas to my routine as well, and they were just amazing. The pain honestly disappeared within about 2 months, and it hasn't come back. The other thing the Omegas did for me, I've always been a really light sleeper. The kids could never walk around the house at night. I'd know what they're up to. I would wake up with the slightest noise. Now you can drive a truck to the bedroom, I wouldn't wake up. It's just great. So that's a little bit about my story. There's so many other things as well, but I'm sort of running out of time if I go on about them all. So I'm going to hand you over to the lovely Maxine.
Thank you, Pete. Yeah, I'm going to talk a bit about the business side of things. I was introduced to the product and had really good results with it. I found that it was making me eat a lot healthier, got rid of my sugar cravings, and I've had a massive improvement in my asthma on the product. So I did look at the business, and I was a little skeptical at first, but then I looked at how work and life had been for me traditionally. I was a registered nurse by profession. Certainly working as a nurse is very hard work. It's long hours, it's shift work, and you know, quite a lot of, often I would be having to do overtime, not necessarily get paid for it. So and also the biggest problem for me with it was that I wasn't very aligned with my own values of how I wanted to take care of people. I wanted to work in a much more holistic way. So I did eventually go into my own private practice as a natural therapist. But there again, I was still kind of in that same job kind of situation where I was having to work an hour to get paid an hour. And the other thing that I was noticing really was that a lot of people that were coming to me fundamentally had diseases of inflammation in the body, and I knew that that could be helped and quite often cured by good nutrition. So I was really interested in moving to something that was more nutrition based, but I also really loved the business model because it is based on the concept of building passive income over time, and that's what I really wanted. I was at the age where my children were leaving home. I wanted freedom, I wanted to travel, you know, I want to be there for my grandchildren when they come around along, and I don't want to be schlepping off to a job for the rest of my life, having no time freedom, and not having any proper nest egg necessarily to retire on. So I looked at this business and I loved it because it just really ticked all of those boxes and solved all of those problems for me. Gives me the freedom, it gives me the ability to work with people with their nutrition, and gives me that passive income and growing a really good, strong retirement solution over time. So yeah, that's I love it. I would totally recommend anybody to have a really good look at this. Compare what we're doing with your traditional businesses, with your traditional jobs, and you look at the outcomes of those and then look at the outcomes of what you can achieve with this. And I mean, for me, it was, in the end, it was a no-brainer. So yeah, and I am going to pass over to Karen. Is that right?
Hi, my name's Karen. I am, like Maxine, I am a registered nurse. I am still nursing. I have been nursing for 35 years now. So that gives you an indication on my age bracket. I still do shift work. I do 12-hour days, I do 12-hour nights, and I work in an intensive care unit. So I have stress, I have sleep deprivation, I have everything like that. So I happened to be looking online and I saw an advert that Maxine had done on the shakes, and I was looking for a way to supplement and have an ease on night shifts on getting in some nutrition. So I answered her advert, and she sent me some samples, and they were lovely. I loved the chocolate, and I also saw an advert that she'd done with advertising for the jobs, and I think it took me about 12 hours to sign up from when I first saw them. And I'm looking for, I love my job and I love what I do, but I'm 52 now, and I'm going to be looking at ways to maybe reduce the hours and the travel that I have to do. I live about 50 k's out of Auckland, and I travel into the centre of Auckland to work. So I'm looking for an alternative, something that I can drop my hours down at work and just go in 2 days a week and be able to have an alternate income, and also future-proofing myself for retirement. So I'm looking, and I'm loving the business. I'm loving the different approach, the fact that I'm now looking at a wellness approach in comparison to my years spent the ambulance more at the bottom of the cliff. And I'm puttering along and slowly building up my business and loving it. So yeah, it's been an awesome decision. So I am now going to pass on, I think, to Sarah Hope.
Hi guys, hopefully you can see me okay on this computer. It's driving me nuts. Okay, I'm Sarah, and I've only been in the business for about 5 months. I jumped on board because I absolutely loved what the product was doing for me and my menopause symptoms, and I thought at the time it's a no-brainer. I want to share this wonderful product with as many people as I can. I work long hours as a security guard in a mall, on my feet most of that time, and yeah, it can be quite stressful. So honestly, I'm at this stage, being 49, I am overworking for somebody else and over being taken for granted at my everyday job. And that's exactly what happened. You get taken for granted if you work for a large corporation. So I thought, well, why not? As I say, I'm 49. My daughters are 12 and 14. And for the first part of their life, I was a stay-at-home mum. And I was enjoying that time. But I had to have a role change with my husband because he had a breakdown. And I decided I'm going to be the one that goes out and earns the money and look after the family. So I'm 49 and my husband is 59. And we're getting to that stage in our life that we want to travel more. My ultimate dream is to get a bus and travel around the South Island and just stop wherever we want to stop with my husband once my girls go off to university, hopefully. And the other thing that I'd like to do is set up a retreat in the Marlborough Sounds for bereaved parents. And I believe that if I'm doing this business as well as my vision, then it's all going to work in very well together. So as I say, it's a no-brainer. You get so much support, so much guidance from so many fantastic people, and the unconditional support that you get from your team is, I've never experienced it in everyday working life. I mean, I don't get told by my boss at my day job, you're doing a fantastic job, Sarah. You're capable of improving. They just try and keep you down in a little box where they can control you. Whereas with this fantastic company, they encourage you to reach for the stars, reach beyond the stars, and your potential is absolutely limitless. So on that note, I'm going to pass you over to our beautiful Tanya again to say goodbye to everybody. So thank you, everybody.
Hey, thank you so much for that. I love this. This is why I love our events, because we get to hear all the really amazing transformational stories. So as you can see, it's a life changer. I mean, you know, for me, the products have been a lifesaver, but the business itself has been an absolute life changer. It's really transformed the way that I've done everything. I can now really give back to the world. I really love helping people grow, step into their potential, create the life that they really want. And this opportunity gives us all of that. So, you know, as well as feeling really good about what it is that we're doing in the world, creating that amazing footprint. So I just want to say to you all, thank you so much for jumping on. For anyone, you know, that you're sitting there and you're thinking, wow, I really like this, I'd love to know some more, then please reach out and ask the person who invited you or who sent this link to you. You may also be sitting there thinking, I'm not really sure if this is me, but you know, you might have some questions. Please don't regret not actually asking anything. I mean, we have a number of team that take a long time to say yes to something, and then when they do get in, they're like, I wish I'd done it sooner. So the last thing we want is for you to regret not jumping in as soon as you were given this opportunity. So please get all your questions answered. That's what we're here for. And thank you so much for jumping on. Have a beautiful evening.